Do you want to make this? It's called moving around. Well, I call it moving around, but it's basically there's a background with the square, more of a scenery, not really a background. There's a scenery with the square, and you can control it using WASD. And you can move it around, can't go past the edges. So if you want to make that, then stick around for the rest of the video. Oh, also, before I move on to the code, I would like to point out that this is made with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and there are no add-ons, so this is completely and easily possible. You don't need to install anything unless you want to use like a software to do it. But other than that, it's a very nice thing to do, and it's very simple. So make sure to stick around for the rest of the video. Now let's begin with the coding. So let's start with the HTML. So we'll create a center, and then inside that we'll first put a header 1, and I'll call it moving around. Actually, just to make it even better, I'll create an underline, moving around. So yeah, that works. And then I'm going to create a canvas with the ID of canvas. I'm going to put width equals 500 and height equals 300. Okay, so that's the HTML done. It wasn't really much work. So now let's move on to the CSS just to make this thing look so much better. So I'll start with the header 1. I'll say color is blue. Font family, because we don't want that ugly font, I'll put it as, I don't know, system UI. Perfect. And then I'll put border radius is 10 pixels. No, that's a bit much. 7 pixels, and then background yellow. Okay, and width is fit content, so it doesn't go across the page. So that is perfect. Now let's move on to the styling the canvas. I'll put hashtag canvas, and then so let's see, border is 10px solid yellow. Perfect. Background, I'll put it as RGBA 4279 203, and then I'll go 0.8. Much better. Okay, is that it? No, I think I'll go border radius is 10 pixels. Okay, that looks so much better. Now, to whip this thing up and make it look way better than this, I'll put body background black. Now look at this. Honestly, to me it looks grand. Okay, now this is just that. We don't have anything inside. Whoopsies. I must have clicked something. Let's get back here. And everything's saved. Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to the JS. So let's start with var canvas equals document query selector hashtag canvas. So that selects our canvas. Then var context, I'll put ctx document. No, sorry, don't do document. Canvas get context 2D. So you've got that. Then let's do a bunch of scenery. We have to fix that up. So I'll put sky blue as the fill style. Then ctx.fill rect 0, 0, 500, 200. So we've got a sky there. Now let's do the grass. ctx.fill style is equal to green. ctx.fill rect. I'll put it as 0, 200, 500, and 100. So that should make this, yeah, perfect. So now we have our scenery. So let's go class, avatar, and then go constructor. So this is, we're going to get the character now. So I'll put start, actually just for shortening it, I'll put x, y, width, and height. So x is the starting point on the x-axis, and y is the starting point on the y-axis, then width and height. And of course color. And then that will do ctx.fill style not minus equals color, and ctx.fill rect x, y, width, height. So you might think, okay, so what's going on? That just does the same thing as up there. Now we're going to make a method called move avatar. Actually, I'll just put as move for shortening's sake. And then first thing we gotta do, var speed x equals 0, not minus, equals var speed y equals 0. Perfect. Next we gotta go window dot add event listener. I'll save my thing. Okay. Key down. So now we're going to move on to the WASD stuff. So I'm going to go event and put an arrow function and say var which equals event dot which. Okay, if which is equal to 87, that's the key code of W. You can customize the keys by going to a website called keycode.info and press any key to get its key code. So 87 is the key code for W. So if which equals 87, then speed y is subtract 10 from that. So that'll go up. Make sure you catch that. Then if which is equal to 83, that's S. Speed y is increased by 10, so that'll go down. If which is equal to 68, that is D. Speed x is increased by 10, of course, so that'll go right. And if which is equal to 65, that's A, then speed x is decreased by 10. So we've got that, but that still won't work. That'll just change speed x and speed y. We have to go ctx.clear rect to clear the entire thing, and then we'll go 0, 0, 500, 300, so that'll clear the entire thing. Then we have to go ctx dot, I'll go and copy and paste the scenery code back in there. There we go. Okay, so let's indent that. Perfect. Then we have to go new avatar. So start at 10 plus speed X, that's critical, and then 160 plus speed Y, so that'll basically change the location of it, of where it is. So I'll explain the code at the end of this video. And then I'll put 40, 40, and then I'll put the colors dark red. So that's all of that. That's that. Then we're gonna go var. I'll just go var avatar, not avatat. Then new avatar, and then exactly that. So 10, 160, 40, 40, dark red. So this should be literally perfect. Okay, now let's bring this up and test it. Okay, so it's not working. Let's figure out why that is. Because we have to go avatar and then put move, so it'll actually move. Now, if we go back, it works. So but now we have a problem. It can go past the edges, so that is not what we wanted. So let's go back there to our if statements right here. I'll highlight it here. So we want to go if which is equal to 87 and speed y is more than negative 160. So that means if it's not at the top, if it's below the top edge, then it'll go up. If speed y is less than 100, which means if it's above the bottom edge, then and speed x is less than 450, so which means if it's to the left of the right edge, and then and speed x is more than negative 10, so if it's to the right of the left edge. So now if we test our code, let me save. Well, let's go. It cannot go past the right edge. It cannot go past the bottom edge. It cannot go past the left edge, and it cannot go past the top edge. So we did it, and now it's all perfect. Now for the part where you actually need to understand the code if you're going to do this yourself or like remix it. The link to the project will be in the description below, but let's get into this. So we start out with the HTML with the center element, so it's all centered with the header and an underlined moving around text. Then we put a canvas with the ID of canvas and the width of 500 and height 300. Then in the CSS, we made the header which has moving around right there, right here. So we gave it the color of blue, font family system dash UI, so that'll give it a different font. Then border radius 7px, so the thing's rounded. If you can see, it's not a perfect rectangle. And then background yellow, so it's highlighted, and with this fit content, or else the yellow would be like across the entire page. So that's that. For the canvas, it's got a border of yellow, a background of this, but it's not shown because right now it's got the scenery and all. Then border radius 10px, so it's rounded. And then body is background black, so that's why it's all black. Now let's move on to the actual important part. So this part you can change, this CSS you can change around, and you can change this around too. You don't have to put it with 500 and height 300, but if you're going to do that, you're going to want to change this also. I'll show you, I might show you in a future video. So first we create two variables called canvas and context, CTX. So document.query selector hashtag canvas, so that selects this thing because hashtag means ID in JavaScript. So it'll select the thing with hashtag canvas, ID canvas. Then var CTX or context, canvas.getContext 2D, so it'll actually make it to a 2D canvas. Then ctx.fill_style, so what color is it doing with the fill? There's of course stroke style, but that's just borders and stuff. So the fill style is sky blue, which is the color of the sky here. Then fill rect 0, 0, so it starts from here, right here, right at the top left corner. And then 500, so that's the width of it, so it'll go all the way here, and then 200, so it'll go all the way from here to here. So that's the sky. And then there's fill style green, so that'll make this, and then it starts at 0, 200, which is here, and then it extends 500 this way and 100 down. So that's the scenery. Then we create a class called avatar for our red square. And first we do constructor, so what the parameters of avatar are when you're creating something with avatar as the class. So constructor X, so that's the starting X, like I showed you with fill rect. Y, starting Y, again with fill rect. Width, so how far it extends this way, and height, how far it extends down or up. And then of course the color, I put dark red. So ctx dot fill style is color, then ctx dot fill rect is the starting X. You get that. Now for the move method, which actually makes a move. So var speed x equals 0, var speed y equals 0. So that's where it starts. Then you add an event listener to the window called key down, and you take in the event parameter, which is basically the key that's pressed. Then we create a variable called which is equal to event.which, basically the key code of it. You can get the key code of any key on your keyboard by going to keycode.info and then pressing the key. So if which equals 87, so that's W, and speed y is more than 160, so that way it's not the top edge, it's below the top edge, then speed y then it'll go up because speed y is decreased by 10. If which is equal to 83 and speed y is less than 100, so if it's above the bottom edge and S is pressed, then it goes down by 10 pixels. And then if which is equal to 68, that's the D key. And speed x is less than 450, which means it's to the left of the rightmost edge. Then speed x is increased by 10, so it goes right. So the square goes right 10 pixels. And if which is equal to 65, which is the A key, and speed x is more than minus 10, which means it's to the right of the leftmost edge, then speed x is decreased by 10, so it moves left 10 pixels. Then after one of those four keys is pressed, ctx to clear rect, so it'll from 0 to 500 300, so it'll clear the entire canvas. Then it'll go ctx to fill, then it'll build the scenery back up again. I explained that earlier. Then you have to type in new avatar, so it's a new avatar. It actually creates a new avatar with 10, which is a starting point, plus speed x, so it actually moves from where it started, and then 160 plus speed y, so it moves. So again, it moves from where it started. Then 40/40, that's the width and height of the square, so it's actually a 40 by 40 square. And then dark red is its color. So then we create a variable called avatar, which inherits the avatar class. So new avatar 10 160 40 40 dark red. So it starts at 10 160 as its coordinates. It's a 40 by 40 square, and its color is dark red. We have to type in new because it's a new class, and then avatar.move, so it actually moves. So hopefully you get what I'm explaining here. So is that an error? I think I typed in something. Uh, One sec, guys. Let me just reload this, because right now it's giving me a hard time because I might have typed in something. Where is it? Where did I type it? I guess nothing then. So let's make sure we're out of there, and then look. So we can move it up as long as we don't go past the edges. We're fine, and we can move it however we want. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it very informative on a basic small game on how to build it with vanilla JavaScript. It's very simple, and I hope you'll subscribe, leave a like, hit the bell, and turn on notifications for future tutorials, and we'll leave a comment for a future idea for a project. Believe me, I look at the comments. So I have a nice time. Bye.